Who collected this data and why? Good. Obviously, there has to be a purpose. But why am I so concerned about someone collecting data? Welcome to my YouTube channel where you regularly see new content on data privacy. What we are going to talk about now is that why was a particular piece of data collected? Was it sufficient? Was it more than enough? Or was it not even required? What happens is you create a form and then you think maybe this more field, maybe this one, and you keep expanding your form. You keep adding and asking more and more details here, and no one questions why are we just dumping everything on this form. And the user, believing that the data is mandatory, and many a times people make mandatory forms, mandatory fields, user keeps entering data. Is it required? Interesting. Usually the organizations think maybe we'll need it later. Some analytics, some marketing, maybe something new comes up, which I have written as unknown use. Right? Because I don't know today, but tomorrow if I have this address. I want to do email marketing, but I am asking them for their telephone number and their residential address. Maybe tomorrow I need it. But boss, if tomorrow they say, reply to your email and say that I want to talk to someone, here's my phone number, still get the phone number. Why do you want it now? The real problem, purpose is not clearly defined. There's no clarity. I am saying email marketing, not marketing. Right? So, what are you doing? You're doing marketing. You're collecting residential address, you're collecting phone number, you're collecting email ID, thinking I can use any of them. Let me collect. I've been sending very good emails and suddenly I realize why not I start doing telemarketing? So I'll start calling those people. Privacy norms and DPDP Act says minimum data as per the purpose. Purpose was email marketing, so only email address and name. Using it for phone because you have taken phone number, and that's another thing that if you have taken a particular piece of information that is not required for the defined purpose, you can't use that piece of information. Right? So purpose you said is limited to email marketing. You can't use the telephone until you would have taken a new consent that I have your telephone number also. Do you give me the consent to start making phone calls to you? You have to think first and collect later rather than collect first and think later. Extra data always creates extra risk. There's more exposure, more storage, more sharing. Storage optimization is one of the things that you can do. You would say just putting in one address or one phone number, how much storage? It's 10 billion records, one extra field filled up, two extra fields created and filled up. How much more storage? You can calculate if you can, right? That's only half IMB per record and there are 10 billion records. Please carry on. You put in more exposure if the database goes off, if the data is hacked. You are leaking phone number and address that you yourselves never needed. You are more responsible for it now. Your sharing can go wrong. The hard truth is that if the data is not in use, it can now become your liability. And DPDP Act says that if the data is not of your use and if the purpose has been fulfilled, delete it. If you need the same data for the same person for a different purpose, ask for the data again when you have the purpose ready. If the purpose is ready, ask for a new consent, else delete it. Don't keep it with you the moment the purpose is over and how much time you will take to end the purpose or fulfill the purpose. Define it when you are defining the purpose, when you are defining your collection screens. Organizations miss out on the fact that it's easy to add fields, but the risk is much harder now to manage. So don't think that you can justify later. Think what you can do now. Your purpose must always be kept clear. There has to be a purpose limitation, data minimization, and therefore a justified collection. Collect only what is required to fulfill the purpose with a clarity on the end date of the purpose so that it is handled properly. What mature organizations do? They define the purpose first, right? Why do we need this data? What all fields we need? Who's going to use it? For how long? When is the purpose going to be over? This is part of the project plan, right? So the common failures come up when collection itself becomes a habit. More and more data, maybe we are safer. More and more data, maybe it's more valuable. Nobody reduces the scope of data collection, which is unfair and illogical. You need to do that to be able to comply and to be able to ensure that the risk is reduced. You are carrying address and phone number that you don't need, that you would never use. Why are you carrying it? Less data, less exposure, reduced risk. Be careful about it. Need more guidance on this, need more information on this. My contact details are there in the description. You can get in touch with me. Thank you.